Hey, welcome to another game dev tip from your game dev teacher. Today we're going to talk what makes a game and what makes it fun and why some games are fun, some games are not fun, and the psychology behind it because it's all about psychology to keep player playing and to make the game fun. I'm not going to bore you with the definition of a video game from a dictionary, it's just the games you play on your console, PC, or any electronic devices. Things like Mortal Kombat, Mario Kart, Harvest Moon. What makes a game a game? Let's disconnect and go back to our childhood. Yes, our childhood, because most of my viewers are in their 30s or late 20s. I checked the statistic, or maybe it's your kids using your account. But nonetheless, let's talk about a game we used to play when we were kids, the game of tag. If I ask you to describe the game of tag to me, you will describe it as a game where a player is it and they start chasing everyone and everyone is running away from it because they don't want to become it, and if you get tagged, you are it now and then you have to chase everyone. And usually you play it in your schoolyard, neighborhood or whatever, but you have some kind of defined zone that you're playing it, and you have some rules like don't climb up the stairs, don't go hide in someone's bedroom, don't lock the door, blah blah blah. Like, you have all those kind of rules to keep the game fun and engaging. And also you have rules like don't cheat. When I was a kid, we played it until we got sick of it, but then I realized some people actually have a timer. If you're it, you have certain amount of time you have to catch people. Oh, in my day, if you're it, you're screwed. You just have to chase everyone, and if you're the slowest guy in the neighborhood, you're basically it forever. So how is all this yapping related to video game? Just like video game, the game of tag have 5 elements: space, goals, actors, mechanics, and rules. So let's look at the game of tag using those elements. Space is, for example, the schoolyard or the neighborhood or wherever you are playing the game. Goals, the goal of this game: if you're it, you tag people; if you're not it, you run away and not get tagged. Actors are all the players, you and your friends. Mechanic, there is 2 simple mechanic: if you're it, you're tagging people; if you're not it, you run away using your legs. And rules, tag other players if you're it, don't leave the playground, and stop when the timer ends. Simple, right? Now let's apply the same elements using game dev definitions and game dev words. A space will be the environment, whether it's a 2D environment, 3D environment, top-down view, side view, scroller, whatever kind of environment, that is your space. Goals will be what players must do to win the game or end the game, and that represent the overall objective of the game. The actors are any object you interact with or control within the environment, including the player character, the NPC, the weapons, and all those other things. Mechanics will be the action the player is taking in the map, whether it's interacting with object, jumping, sliding, fighting, shooting, whatever it is. Rules will be how the player should play the game and what constraint you have, and what should the player do to achieve their goals in the game. Do player always adhere to the rules of the game? No, and that's where bugs and glitch happen. Now, let's take those definition and concept and apply them to an actual game to understand it even better. Let's take Mario Kart as an example. What is the space in Mario Kart? The space will be the race map, whether it's Rainbow Road or any other ones of those maps in Mario Kart. The goal of this game is to finish the race and hopefully finish it first. Actors will be your character and the car they are driving and all the NPCs in the game, all the power-ups that you're interacting with and shooting. Mechanic on this game will be a very long list, but to summarize it, you have the driving mechanic with all the sliding, jumping, drifting, and everything like that. And then you have your power-up mechanics, where you are using power-up, whether it's throwing, using them on yourself, putting them on the map, and everything like that. And then you have the map interactable, like the trap that are building the map, the secret passage, and all those other things. If you think I missed one of those, please drop it down in the comment. What are the rules? Stay in the track, don't drive backward, and you're good to go. Now let's see if you can apply the same element to another game. Let's say, for example, a game of chess. Go ahead and comment down below the elements of game of chess, and the first right comment will be pinned down below. Now that you understand the element of the game, how can we make it more fun as a player so you can enjoy your time and have fun? Here where psychology play a big role. If you have a psychologist or you are studying psychology in college, this is a very good chance for you to be a better game developer. Just pay attention in class. I did take one psychology class in college, and let's say for the record I attended all the classes, but that's in the past now. So everything I'm going to tell you now is not something I came up with, it's something people who did research came up with. So I'm just here to give you the information. So what should you do to keep your game fun and make the player engage with your game all the time? There are 3 different things you can do: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and punishment. Let's break them down. Let's start with positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, people think about it's the way you train your dog. Whenever your dog does something you like, you give them a treat, and then eventually they associated the good thing with a treat and they start doing it all the time. Unless if you have a dog like my dog, then it does not work with them. In a video game, it's similar. Whenever the players stay on track, we're going to give them loot box. Whenever they defeat a boss, we're going to give them an upgrade or power up or something like that. All those are positive reinforcement. You are given something as a reward for a good action or a good behavior. The next one is negative reinforcement, and here where people get it confused with punishment. Negative reinforcement is actually good, it's not bad. It says negative because instead of adding a stimulant, you're taking a stimulant away, and that stimulant you're taking away could be a bad stimulant. For example, in Minecraft, if you get a curse or you get a poison or something like that, if you drink milk, that poison get taken away from you, so your player movement and health enhance. So that is a negative reinforcement, where we take something away because we want to reward the player by taking something bad away from them. Another example, the game Bully. I'm sure a lot of y'all know it and love it. In this game, if a teacher is chasing you, you're stuck, you can't do anything because they are fast and everything. How do you get them lost? By hiding, whether you're hiding in the trash can or you're hiding in one of the closets. And when you hide, we take the teacher chasing you away. So that's a negative thing we removed from you, so you have easier time playing the game. And for our final strategy is punishment. Punishment is when we apply negative stimulus for undesirable actions by the player. For example, removing a power up or losing health when they perform an action you don't want them to perform. For example, getting hit by another player or an NPC. So now you know those three strategies. What is the most effective strategy of those three ones? Actually, it's a combination of them. According to the Unreal Engine Game Dev Guide, the best way to do it is by adding punishment and positive reinforcement. Apparently, players react very well to punishment because they don't want to lose things, and that will keep them on track and keep them doing exactly what you want them to do, with sprinkles of positive reinforcement like a loot every now and then after a boss fight and stuff like that. And that will make sure that the player is heading to the direction you want them to head to, so they can follow your storyline, and at the same time it keeps them engaging because you're rewarding them every time they do something you like. And all you want is to engage the player. All those numbers when they start rising up and power up and all those color and sound and things like these, all those stimulants are positively enforcing the player, hey, you're doing something right, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and it will be better and better for you as a player. And that just encourages them to keep playing more and more and more. Well, this is all for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps the channel. And thank you so much for 300 subscribers. I cannot believe how fast this channel is growing.